Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 6. Tonight, separatists stalled. Why a group that wants Alberta to leave Canada will have to wait to start its petition. Declaring a disaster. Farmers just north of Edmonton dealing with drought and a grasshopper infestation.
We want to advocate to our provincial and federal governments for some sort of assistance if possible.
And back from the brink, a program preventing peregrine falcons from going the way of the dodo.
To see them back where I never saw them for many years, it's like seeing a ghost sometimes.
One more cool day tomorrow with some showers back in the forecast, then a warm-up just in time for the weekend.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The Alberta Prosperity Project will have to wait a little longer before it can start gathering signatures from supporters. A judge has ruled a judicial review of the separatist referendum question can go ahead. CTV's Jeremy Thompson has been following the court proceedings today. He joins us in studio with the latest. Jeremy?
Well, Matt, there are a lot of moving parts with this story, so let me just start with who benefits from today's ruling. The decision is a win for Albertans who want to stay in Canada. It means the group pushing for separation has to have its referendum question reviewed by a judge before it can start collecting signatures to get it on a ballot. The separatist group Alberta Prosperity Project wants to ask Albertans whether they want to leave Canada and become a sovereign nation. Alberta's chief electoral officer thought even asking that question might violate Canada's constitution, including treaty rights of First Nations. Last month, Gordon McClure referred the question to a judge to make that assessment, but the separatists intervened, arguing the review should only be necessary if they manage to collect the 177,000 signatures needed to get their question on a ballot. Today, the King's Bench Justice Colin Feasby ruled that constitutional review will benefit democracy and must happen first.
You know, this whole hearing process seems to be asking the question, is asking a question to amend the Constitution in and of itself unconstitutional, which is, to me, a pretty remarkable position.
It's a great reaffirmation of the fact that the process actually works. We have always followed this process, and that is why Elections Alberta has approved our petition, and separatists are having these hurdles that they have to overcome.
A group led by Alberta's former deputy premier has had its pro-Confederation question approved by Elections Alberta. The petition to make it an official referendum question is underway. Lukaszik's group now has a permanent signing location set up at the Kingsway Legion, with more locations coming soon. The group has until the end of October to collect nearly 300,000 signatures. Now, the separation debate is getting a lot of attention from First Nations, who, of course, have long-standing treaties with the federal government. Athabasca Chippewa First Nation Chief Alan Adam was in court today too. He says he and other Indigenous leaders plan to intervene in the judicial review, arguing the benefits of Alberta staying a part of Canada. That review is scheduled for November. Matt.
All right, Jeremy Thompson live in studio tonight. Thank you. The Alberta Next panel is holding its third town hall this evening. It's focusing on a wide range of provincial topics and issues. CTV's Merrick DeCash joins us now from West Edmonton, where tonight's event is scheduled to begin shortly. So, Merrick, what can we expect during tonight's town hall?
Well, Matt, if tonight goes anything like last month's town hall here in Edmonton, we can expect to hear a lot about separatism.
So let's just move forward with a referendum on independence, force that Constitution open, and see where those talks take us.
Why is this question even a question when we already have done this survey?
Premier Danielle Smith has said one of the reasons for creating the panel is to address concerns regarding separatism. The town hall agenda zones in on a total of 6 different policy ideas. Those include pulling out of the Canada Pension Plan and creating a provincial police force to replace the RCMP.
I've done the survey. I'm against all of them. So I just want to hear what they're going to say, and I want to hear what the response is from the audience.
Well, there's a lot of issues that they need to be addressed, and basically we're looking for the security of Alberta, more jobs for people, and to make sure that she does the right thing for the Alberta.
The next two events will take place in 2 weeks. One town hall will be in Lloydminster, with the other in Fort McMurray. 2 online town halls will take place this October. Matt?
All right, CTV's Merrick DeCash live in West Edmonton tonight. Thank you. The province says Alberta Health Services has reached a settlement for a new collective agreement with some healthcare workers. The Health Sciences Association of Alberta has been in contract negotiations with AHS for more than a year now. The province says it is unable to speak to the specifics of the deal out of respect for the union's process. A bargaining update posted on the HSAA's website today shows the union recommended a tentative agreement which includes 12% wage increases over 4 years. It says voting on the tentative agreement will start at the end of the month. The HSAA represents around 29,000 healthcare professionals. More than 14,000 people cast a ballot during advance voting in the upcoming federal by-election in the Battle River Crowfoot riding. That's about the same number of advance votes cast in that riding during April's federal election. More than 200 names are listed on the ballot for the by-election, where Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre is hoping to win back a seat in Parliament. Election Day is this Monday, August 18th. Westlock County, about an hour north of Edmonton, has declared a state of agricultural disaster. As CTV's Nav Sanger reports, county officials and farmers are asking for help from the provincial and federal governments.
Many pastures in Westlock County look like this, mostly dry grass and vegetation, with only small patches of green.
Like usually we have 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in June and July, and in this area we had 3/10.
Drought conditions and a severe grasshopper infestation has forced Westlock County to declare a state of agricultural disaster, and it isn't the only one.
Many counties around us have. We have Smoky Lake, Lesser Slave, Athabasca County now, so it's a widespread problem all around Alberta.
The lack of grass growth on pastures is forcing some farmers to sell off their cattle.
I don't know what we're going to do.
Really?
Record high prices on cattle, but if you can't keep them, it ain't going to be that good.
The drought is also hindering annual crop growth. Westlock County estimates yield production is down 30 to 50% compared to last year. And with a third of the county's population being farmers, it hurts the local economy.
When yields are down, that affects their business, which affects farmers' business. Really, the whole farming community is very integrated and relies on each other.
The county says the declaration does not automatically result in additional provincial or federal funding, but it is hoping it does raise awareness.
And we just wanted to advocate on the behalf of our producers to say, we hear you guys, we know things are bad, and we want to advocate to our provincial and federal governments for some sort of assistance if possible.
The province says financial assistance and protections such as crop insurance are available. Nav Sanga, CTV News, Westlock County.
Police are looking for a horse tonight and the woman charged with stealing it. RCMP and Rimbey want to return Hank the horse to his rightful owner. A warrant is out for the arrest of a 28-year-old woman. Police believe she stole the horse and is refusing to return it. She has been charged with theft of cattle over $5,000. Police say she will not tell investigators where Hank is. RCMP are warning people, if you have Hank, you are committing an offense of possessing stolen property. An Edmonton police officer is facing an assault charge related to a traffic stop last year. Police say in June of last year, officers stopped a vehicle with an expired license plate. Police say the driver became aggressive and officers arrested him. After the arrest, police say a physical struggle led to minor injuries to the driver. The Alberta Crown Prosecution Services investigated and recommended the officer be charged. The Edmonton Police Service says the officer involved will be placed in a non-operational role with the service. Edmonton first responders are reminding drivers to move over when they see emergency vehicles trying to get somewhere.
Even if we lose as little as 1 minute, that can mean somebody's losing their entire house in a structure fire. Or even worse yet, somebody loses their life.
Edmonton Fire Rescue Services says in most circumstances, drivers should signal, move to the right, and stay stopped until the emergency vehicles pass. You should not stop in an intersection. Fire crews recognize encountering emergency vehicles can be situational.
When you're on a road with 3 or more lanes, it's okay to pull over to the left if that's your closest side. And if you're in a construction zone and lanes are blocked, be calm, stay patient. There may be little to no option to make room. and will continue when traffic flow resumes.
Edmonton police are also reminding drivers to slow down when they see emergency vehicles after a number of close calls. 42 police vehicles have been hit this year. In December, a police vehicle and tow truck were hit on the Henday.
It was always in the back of my mind that it's possible we could be hit, but now, especially after that collision, I'm very adamant about thinking of it, make sure I have my car parked in the right spots, that the car takes the collision before we do if we get hit.
Alberta's Traffic Safety Act requires drivers to slow down to 60 kilometers an hour or the posted speed limit if it's lower than 60 in a lane next to a stopped ambulance, fire truck, police cruiser, or tow truck. This year's Service Edmonton Marathon will see a first-timer hit the course at the age of 86. Sunday's marathon will feature 5 race distances from the full-length 42K to a kids 1K. Larry Adams is participating despite being in a wheelchair for cerebral palsy. He'll be pushed down the 5K course by a longtime marathon runner. The duo says they're pumped up and finally ready to do it.
Larry is turning 87 years old on August 27th. And it is an honor and a privilege to help push him.
When you see something like this that's going to happen on Sunday, you see the good part about Edmonton.
Sunday's race will mark the 34th Edmonton Marathon. There will be an after party between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Rice Howard Way. There are a lot of blizzards in Alberta for a mid-August day. That's because it's Miracle Treat Day at Dairy Queen. The net proceeds from every blizzard sold today will benefit children's hospitals, including the Stollery. More than 700 DQ locations across Canada are taking part. Since 1984, Miracle Treat Day has raised more than $55 million for children's hospitals. Josh, I think I owe you an apology. Yesterday we were saying it's my turn to buy the blizzards this year.
I didn't see any.
I didn't come through, did I? I'm going to have to make a stop there tonight. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
Okay, that's okay. I bought myself one. I knew you weren't going to bring me one.
Yeah, you knew better, didn't you?
Bought myself one. Take a look outside at temperatures right now. We're sitting in the 16-degree range in Edmonton. We got 18 for a daytime high earlier this afternoon, so a couple degrees cooler than average. It felt a little like, dare I say, autumn this morning. 9 degrees this morning, and we'll be in the same territory tomorrow morning. 12 degrees, the normal morning low, 23 the average daytime high. I think we're back to around average through the weekend. One more cool day on the way for tomorrow, though. Clouds did start to break a little bit, although it wasn't like we got bright blue skies. There was still a bit of cloud cover in the Edmonton area. Rain has continued through this afternoon up in northeastern Alberta, up around Fort McMurray. That should finally taper off later tonight. And then if you look to the west, you can see some showers making their way through the BC interior. That will push into western Alberta overnight tonight and should roll into the Edmonton area sometime tomorrow morning. Probably sticks around through lunchtime and early in the afternoon, and then through most of the mid to late afternoon hours. It's just cloudy skies. Another cool one, 16 or 17 for a daytime high. And again, a little breezy, gusts to about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. Warmer, as we said, for the weekend, should be back into the low to mid 20s. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, the bare necessities.
You know, we're trying to be a little bit extra careful and all these things and be prepared. Obviously, we have little ones.
What hikers visiting K-Country during a widespread bear warning should bring with them while enjoying the scenery. Also just ahead.
Just so gratifying to see them back where they were.
Species of bird that was nearly extinct in Alberta is making a comeback.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Peter Cash and Jenna Winterburn from 104.9 Virgin Radio, and we need your help to send some kids back to school with some fresh new kicks.
That is right. Join us right here at Kingsway Mall on Saturday, August 16th, as we collect new shoes in support of Cara Family Resources Center's Kicks for Kids campaign.
Now, we're going to be here from noon to 4. Drop off a new unused pair of shoes and help us walk towards a brighter future, one step at a time.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Despite a bear warning for all of Kananaskis country, popular trails were packed with people today. As CTV's Terry Fikowski reports, hikers are being told to take extra precautions.
Well, bear warnings for anyone who ventures into the mountains is nothing new, but a blanket warning in all of K Country and the Bow Valley certainly is. The last time Alberta Parks issued an advisory like that for the area was 2016. And now they're urging visitors and anyone in the area who ventures out to be sure that they pack bear spray and be extra bear aware. It's a stunning scenery that attracts thousands outdoors, many hopeful to spot wildlife from afar.
You saw a grizzly on the road, crazy, like pretty scary. We were in the car, so we felt safe. If you saw that on a trail, it would be a different story.
But there have been so many recent bear sightings and close encounters with both grizzly and black bears that it has warranted a blanket warning for all of K Country and the Bow Valley.
We often will issue warnings for smaller areas, and we had been over the last few weeks, but we're just realizing that, man, these bears are everywhere and they're moving around a lot, so we've gone with the whole Kananaskis wide advisory.
It's thanks to buffalo berry season, with an abundance along trails and campgrounds in the valley bottom. Regular rain this summer has created a perfect patch, and where there are berries, there are bears. Lots of them.
The number of grizzly bears that we're seeing is somewhat astonishing. We have a suite of bears that we regularly see and interact with, but we're all of a sudden we're seeing new bears. We have no idea where they've come from.
People are urged to be prepared for a bear anywhere, even the busy trails. Like, do you guys carry bear spray and things like that?
It's expensive, so we didn't buy one, but we just assumed there's not going to be any bears. So
it's something Kim Titchener, the founder of Bear Safety and More, hears too often.
People don't read signs. They may not catch the news. It might not be in their language, so they don't know what's going on. We're near the front nozzle. You're going to pull that.
She says it's crucial people carry bear spray and know how to use it.
And aim down and point. It's a big wake-up call. Always take it as a bear. It's always bear safety season.
The warning is worrisome for some, but parking lots at popular trails remain packed.
Hopefully talking a lot, which we have lots of kids.
Make a lot of noise, and we're in their territory.
We have such a short summer, and this year it's even worse, so might as well go enjoy, right?
With a reminder to wander wisely in bear country. Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Kananaskis.
Once nearly extinct in Alberta, the Peregrine falcon population is making a comeback. A team is helping young falcons born on Edmonton rooftops have a better chance of surviving. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
For decades, this was a rare sight on the Pembina River or anywhere in Alberta.
The last pairs of peregrines in central Alberta was found here in 1964 by a professor from Colorado College.
Through breeding and recovery programs, the peregrine falcon was brought back from the brink of extinction.
And it is now considered not at risk nationally. It's still on the books as a threatened species in Alberta. We were very, very close to getting it off the list of threatened species until 2022 when we had an outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza, which is the bird flu, and we lost about 30% of our adults.
In 2011, the team set up what's known as a hack site high above the Pembina River.
Reasons we have signs here saying no trespassing, because it's very important that we don't disturb them before they take that first flight, because the worst thing can happen is they get frightened off the box and fly to the horizon, and we may never see them again.
Each year, they collect all but one young bird from nests in Edmonton and nearby industrial sites to bring here, away from buildings and traffic where it's safer. 12 were recently released from this site.
We drop that mortality in the urban and industrial sites, and then we know that the males especially will return to areas where they learn to fly, and that tends to get them coming back here. And then if it's occupied, this cliff is occupied, they'll go down the river, occupy a new one.
Steve Schwartz leaves frozen quail for the falcons and monitors them every day from a nearby homeowner's lookout. It's work those involved say is rewarding.
Peregrines nested here last in 1964, and we had a pair show up 50 years later because of our efforts here. We had a wild pair of peregrines that were nesting in the valley. And we see a lot of our young come back as 1-, 2-, 3-year-old birds. That's really rewarding.
Just so gratifying to see them back where they were.
Court expects it will take another 4 years or so for the peregrine falcon population to recover enough to come off the threatened species list. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, and Twistle.
From falcons to fungi, the Wild Mushroom Expo is coming to Devon this weekend. The Alberta Mycological Society is celebrating all things mushroom. The group is dedicated to the appreciation of fungi in Alberta. They hold foraging events and provide information about the different kinds of mushrooms you can find here and what you can do with them. A member of the society was on CTV Morning Live today with a wide array of mushrooms he found in the Edmonton area just this morning.
We've got portobellas, and the portobellas are, you know, if you've had a portobello from the grocery store, the fresh ones are just dynamite. Difference between a tomato that you buy at the superstore or one that you grow in the garden. And the other common one is the fairy ring mushroom. And this is one that grows on everybody's lawn, or most people on most people's lawns. And a lot of people don't know that this is an excellent choice edible mushroom.
Why is Edmonton a great area for foraging mushrooms?
Well, Edmonton's a great area because we're a little wetter than other parts of the province. So Calgary kind of sucks for mushrooms because it's so dry there. And here we've got the Great River Valley and lots of different habitats. So
this weekend's expo will begin with mushroom forays Saturday, followed by an event Sunday with experts, tastings, and other vendors. When we return from the Shire to Edmonton.
You can imagine the camaraderie between these four actors.
How you can meet all four hobbits from the Lord of the Rings trilogy in our city.
Should stay dry through the rest of tonight, but showers are in the forecast for tomorrow, and then a warm-up for the weekend. The forecast is next.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Some high-profile hobbits will be making the journey to Edmonton next month. All 4 hobbits from the Lord of the Rings movies will be at the Edmonton Expo. Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Dominic Monaghan, and Billy Boyd will be available for autographs and photos with fans. They will also host a panel called The 4 Hobbits, An Unexpected Reunion. Organizers say you can expect the unexpected.
Fans get the opportunity to hear behind the scenes insights about what happened when they were working together making the movies, and then they just get up to some good old-fashioned fun. I mean, you can imagine the camaraderie between these 4 actors, considering the titles that they've worked on together within this theme. So it's truly magical.
Other celebrities coming to the expo include Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, best known as McLovin from Superbad, and Dante Basco, who played Rufio in Hook. The Edmonton Expo takes place September 19th to the 21st. Tickets are on sale right now. Well, Josh, I might be taking a walk to Morador if it doesn't warm up around here. Sure, it's full of orcs, but at least it's a bit hotter. Earlier you said it felt like autumn out there today at times.
Can you name those 4 hobbits?
Sam?
Yeah.
Frodo? Pippin and something else. Pippin, help me out here. Pippin
really
and Merry.
Good.
That's pretty good. That's
wow.
pretty good.
Okay. All right. I'll allow the Mordor comment. Then. I don't really know what it was. The rest of that sentence was, but it's fun to play along. There's a look outside right now at the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed rider. It's free. 16 degrees outside. You do have a bit of blue breaking through the clouds. We get to 18 for a daytime high earlier today. 18s and 19s as well across the northwest. Fort McMurray only up to 11 because you've been stuck in some rain pretty much all day on the backside of this low pressure system that gave us all the rain yesterday. There's the next system set to come in. That'll push some rain into western sections of the province by the overnight period and then up towards Edmonton through the morning hours. It'll be pretty scattered to start, and then mid to late morning up to about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we get a pretty good chance of seeing some showers or some periods of light rain in the Edmonton region. Off to the east, the rain will continue through most of the afternoon. We'll get a bit of a break, so cloudy skies and gusty conditions. And then Friday evening, another wave of showers gets set to push through. Again, that one looks pretty scattered, and so does the chance for Saturday morning. So the best possibility of rain looks like it's going to be tomorrow, sort of mid to late morning up until about lunchtime. And then after that, it gets pretty hit and miss. And that goes for Saturday evening as well. You can see some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms developing west and northwest of the city late in the afternoon. So Saturday night, there might be a scattered thunderstorm in the region. 18 degrees in Grand Prairie right now. 9 9 in Fort McMurray. We're at 16s in Edmonton, and Red Deer, Lloydminster checks in at 15 degrees. Dropping to about 10 or 11 degrees by early tomorrow morning, and wind should stay fairly light overnight and through the first half of the day, but by lunchtime starts to gust. 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts and a high of just 16 or 17 degrees under cloudy skies. The VIP prize deadline in the Mighty Millions lottery is midnight Friday. You could win the BMW convertible or take $100,000 cash. Support the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Get your tickets now at mightymillionslottery.com. All right, let's walk you through this 5-day forecast. Breezy tomorrow. There's your best chance of showers through the first half of the day. Then a chance of scattered showers late in the day. Hit and miss showers possibly Saturday morning. Most of Saturday, just mostly cloudy skies. We'll see the sun break through in the afternoon. And then Saturday night, you might see a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Sunday, again, most of the day looks great. Partly cloudy skies, back up to about 24 on Sunday. But Sunday evening, you might see a scattered shower or thunderstorm. It looks a little drier for Monday, Tuesday, with temperatures Sunday, Monday, Tuesday back into the mid-20s. So 23 is the average daytime high. We get another cool one tomorrow. We get some more rain tomorrow, especially early in the day. And then we're back to around average for the weekend and the first half of next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. Still to come tonight on CTV News, walking in ahead of their walkout.
We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be valued for the work that we do.
Flight attendants interrupt an Air Canada press conference as the airline cancels more flights.
I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace.
What's at stake as the U.S. and Russian presidents prepare to meet in Alaska tomorrow?
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Help make history this summer with the world's largest egg and spoon race, August 30th in Vegreville. Registration is now open.
Air Canada is outlining what will happen over the next few days with flight attendants poised to strike on Saturday. The national airline began the gradual suspension of flights today, which will eventually end in a complete shutdown. CTV's Sean Leathong has more.
Storming in on their employer, about 24 Air Canada flight attendants picket inside a news conference that was organized by the airline.
We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be valued for the work that we do.
Members stand holding signs accusing Air Canada of forcing unpaid work. This as the airline begins canceling flights, winding down operations towards a total shutdown.
It's simply not the kind of system that we can start or stop at the push of a button.
At the start of the day, Air Canada leadership outlined what the shutdown would look like. It includes several dozen cancellations Thursday, around 500 cancellations on Friday, with all flights grounded by Saturday if a deal is not reached in time. The airline saying all canceled flights will be offered a refund as they try to rebook for those who are stranded, but seats are limited.
And it looks like we're going to have to pay out of pocket probably about $900 for a new flight.
We are extremely disappointed by CUPE's decision, which threatens to disrupt the travel plans of more than 130,000 customers a day.
The airline saying their latest offer, a 38% raise, including benefits, that would make Air Canada the best compensated flight attendants in the country.
One of the lowest rates.
Bargaining team member Natasha Steya says the airline isn't being truthful.
We are not the highest paid, and with the increase that they're proposing, we still would not be the highest paid.
As both sides argue over compensation and what the union is calling unpaid work, at this point, there's little either side can agree on.
We have been at the table, sitting and waiting. We've been talking with the conciliators. We've been there. But the employer, they left.
We never left the table. We are engaged throughout the entire process.
Sean Leathong, CTV News.
The strike would have a major impact on thousands of travelers, whether flights are already booked or you are planning to buy tickets soon. CTV's Adrian Goldbriel has more on your options.
Labor stoppage or not, you should still be able to get off the ground, according to industry watchers.
If you already have an Air Canada ticket booked and paid for,
then Air Canada has to buy you a ticket.
In the case of an active strike, which is classified as outside an airline's control, large companies such as Air Canada are required by legislation to rebook customers on a new reservation for the next available flight that is operated by any carrier. On their website, Air Canada says customers whose flights are cancelled will be notified and they will be eligible for a full refund. Air passenger rights advocates are advising customers against accepting a reimbursement.
One important thing to remember is do not accept a refund. Refund can be a way for airlines to wash their hands from their obligations to rebook you.
If you don't have a ticket and are looking to book travel in or out of Canada over the next several days, you might be in for a shock. The cheapest round-trip ticket departing Toronto tomorrow and returning from Vancouver next Friday costs more than $1,300. The same week-long round-trip ticket leaving September 5th, returning September 12th, is going for as little as $273. It all comes down to supply and demand that influences strategic pricing by the airlines.
Last-minute ticket prices, which always tend to be higher, and a substantial sudden increase in demand that is pushing prices up due to what might be a strike at Air Canada.
Again, if your flight is canceled by Air Canada, they're obligated to purchase you another ticket to your destination. If they refuse, consumer advocates say you could purchase one yourself and flip Air Canada the bill. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Canada's top naval commander wants a decision on who will supply Canada's next generation of submarines by the end of the year. The federal government is currently planning to decide on a supplier by 2028. Vice Admiral Angus Topshee wants that timeline moved up. The Navy says it requires 12 new conventional diesel-electric-powered submarines to effectively patrol the oceans and train its officers. Companies from a number of countries, including France, Spain, and South Korea, say they can meet the requirements. Canada's current submarines were built in the 80s with several under maintenance, making it difficult to meet military obligations.
We've got 3 oceans to defend, and we have 1 that we can cover. And because we've struggled to get these submarines operational.
Each new submarine will cost about $2 billion each. Compensation payments have begun for some claimants in a $23 billion child welfare case involving First Nation children and their families. The settlement with the federal government affects more than 300,000 people. It's intended to provide compensation for Canada's chronic underfunding of on-reserve child welfare services. More than 40,000 claims have been received, with many more eligible claimants who haven't yet submitted applications. The Federal Conservative Party is starting a new pressure campaign to stop the Liberal government's electric vehicle mandate.
Rural communities in much of Canada would simply cease to exist over the next 10 years without the ability to use gas and diesel-powered vehicles.
Pierre Poilievre took a break from his by-election campaign to outline the new initiative. It will include petitions, motions in Parliament, and events at car dealerships. The current EV mandate requires 20% of new vehicles sold in Canada by next year to be zero emission. The plan is to phase out gas vehicles entirely by 2035. Alberta's Environment Minister says the mandate is unrealistic and is also calling for it to be scrapped. U.S. President Donald Trump will host Vladimir Putin tomorrow to try to broker a deal that will end the war in Ukraine. Trump says Russia's leader wants to get it done. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more at what's at stake, the expectations, and the goal.
Final preparations are underway in Alaska at the U.S. military base where the high-stakes summit is taking place.
I want to see if I can stop the killing.
Tomorrow, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will sit down face-to-face. Today, Putin called Trump's efforts to stop hostilities energetic and sincere, though Trump tempered expectations about this meeting ending with a truce.
The more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're having. We're going to see what happens. And I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along. And if they can, it'll be great.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky won't be in Anchorage, but Trump said a second summit between the 3 world leaders could come soon after. Today, Zelensky met with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and the pair emerged optimistic about the chance for peace, so long as Putin agrees to a ceasefire deal that protects Ukraine's territorial integrity.
If President Trump somehow manages to cajole that out of them, that will be the best possible outcome.
Today, Kremlin and White House officials confirmed that Trump and Putin plan to hold a joint press conference once their talks conclude. But Trump later said he could still decide to go solo if the meeting doesn't go well. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A futuristic sports tournament has begun in Beijing with the very first humanoid robot games. It appears a robot takeover of athletics is far off, with some of the robots malfunctioning and being carried off the field. The robots competed at soccer, tested their speed in track and field, and showcased their dance and music skills. The robots also marched around the track in a parade of teams. More than 500 robots from 16 countries will participate in the three-day event. Coming up next on CTV News, costly cars.
The data is showing that negative equity in car loans is now higher than it's ever been before.
Why the cost of owning a car in Canada continues to climb, even if you have good credit.
Programming brought to you by Southview Acura. For family-owned, award-winning excellence, Southview Acura, where luxury meets reality.
Here's a look at the markets for this evening. The Canadian dollar down, still trading at 72 cents U.S. Oil gained $1.31, closing at $63.96. Gold dropped by $25 and a dime. The TSX finished the day down 77 points, while the Dow Jones lost 11 points. YouTube is rolling out a new policy aimed at keeping kids from accessing age-restricted content. In the United States, the video platform is testing an AI tool to figure out whether a user is under the age of 18. YouTube says the tool will analyze factors like how long an account has been active and the types of videos being searched. Suspected minors will see restrictions placed on what they're able to access. Adults who are improperly flagged will have to prove their age using a credit card, piece of ID, or a selfie. The average price of a new car in Canada is more than $66,000. With current trade tensions, there are concerns it could increase. Financing a purchase can also lead to it costing substantially more, depending on interest rates. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
Marva Ebo of Bolton bought this 2016 Mazda SUV 3 years ago. Unfortunately, when she got a loan, she had credit issues. She borrowed just over $40,000 for the vehicle over 6 years. At almost 13% interest, the cost of borrowing is more than $17,000.
They approved me, but with a very high interest rate.
After paying $800 a month for the past 3 years, she still owes about $30,000 for the car, even though it's worth less than half that.
It's really, really frustrating, and I just reach a point now I don't know what to do.
Even if you have good credit, a recent survey found the total cost of car ownership in Canada is almost $1,400 a month. When you have bad credit, it's a lot more than that.
The data is showing that negative equity in car loans is now higher than it's ever been before.
Car Help Canada says anyone with poor credit or who has declared bankruptcy can end up with never-ending car payments.
The interest cost, the cost of financing ends up being so incredibly high that it quickly drowns them in debt.
It's important to maintain a good credit rating to avoid having to take out loans with high interest lenders.
If you miss just one payment, regardless of what that amount is, it can have a very real impact on your credit scores.
I do need a car. I just can't afford $800 a month.
For anyone stuck in a high-interest loan, you could refinance, sell your car, or trade it in for something more affordable. Car Help Canada suggests paying it off as quickly as you can.
There's no easy way out of it. You just have to pay down the debt as quickly as you can, pay off the vehicle, and just hold on to it.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
12 dino statues in Drumheller need repairs. A local volunteer group says it might not be able to repair all of them this year. The Dino Arts Association is a community-funded group of about a dozen volunteers who assess and repair damage to the 32 dinosaur statues across Drumheller. It says an average repair can take 3 or 4 days, and some of the statues are more than 60 years old.
You know, we're just plugging away at a project that began many years ago.
and they've become an important part of our community. People, especially kids, and really it's about the kids, because they're the ones who gain the most appreciation.
If a dinosaur is considered beyond repair and it's time to go extinct, the group can replace the statue. A new one costs about $15,000. To help the group or to learn more, visit dinoarts.ca. Canada's national rugby team is in Red Deer preparing for an upcoming match against Team USA. The national team ran plays against the Alberta Wolfpack on Tuesday night to prepare for their upcoming qualifying game. Organizers say the match was historic for the Wolfpack.
They're super excited. They're getting to play a controlled game, so it's not a normal game. It'll be set up situations and things like that, but they get to play against Team Canada. I'm sure all of these guys aspire to making the national team.
Canada's men's rugby team will face Team USA in Calgary on August 22nd. Whoever wins will immediately qualify for the 2027 Men's Rugby World Cup. When we return, Life of a Showgirl.
I was so happy you were there when that happened.
I mean, I was...
Because I could not stand.
Taylor Swift opens up about more than just her new album during her podcast debut.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
Taylor Swift's first podcast interview included plenty of details about her upcoming album. The pop star also opened up about her recent legal victory and whirlwind romance. ABC's Allison Kozik has the details.
Taylor Swift last night officially unveiling the cover art for her new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Can you do drum roll? Last track, track 12. The title track, The Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
Swift making her first appearance on boyfriend Travis Kelce's podcast to announce the album and track list. She also opened up about a major legal victory.
Since I was a teenager, I've been actively saving up money to buy my music back.
Swift telling Kelce and his brother Jason about the moment she found out she had regained ownership of her master recordings.
I get a call from my mom and she's like, you got your music. And I'm just like, just weeping and kind of like unable. I was just like, really? Are you really?
Swift bought her own masters back for $360 million in May.
I want it because this is my handwritten diary entries from my whole life. These are the songs I wrote about every phase of my life. My artwork, everything that I've ever done is in this catalog.
Swift also using the moment to praise Kelce for supporting her through the process.
I was so happy you were there when that happened.
I mean, I was...
Because I could not stand.
The pair, seen affectionately holding hands throughout the interview, also had some fun reliving how they met, including a failed attempt by Kelce to get backstage at a Swift concert, which led him to make a public plea for a date.
It was such a wild romantic gesture to just be like, I want to date you. So I was like, if this guy isn't crazy, which is a big if, this is sort of what I've been writing songs about wanting to happen to me since I was a teenager.
Yeah. Allison Kozik, ABC News, New York.
Well, let's look at your forecast. 8 degrees tomorrow morning. Cool start to the day. We'll get to about 16 or 17 for a daytime high. We've got some showers through mid to late morning, then cloudy for most of the afternoon, and then in the evening, a chance of a scattered shower. 22 and 24 as things warm back up again through the weekend, back closer to average, although still a few scattered showers possible both Saturday and again Sunday night. I think Sunday's probably the nicer of the 2 days, though, with a little extra sunshine through the daytime hours.
I'll keep my fingers crossed that that sun pushes out by the weekend. Would love to see it.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, thanks very much. That's our show. Thanks for watching.
Which is out from behind the clouds.
Yes.
I thought you meant like disappeared.
No, like, what am I, like an evil villain here? Mr. Burns blocking out the sun
over here.